Greetings and salutations. I am Karen Russmore. I have spaghetti sauce over my lips. Welcome to my channel where I'm playing Pathfinder Kingmaker. A little bit of a rush today. I've pasta sauce. I have pasta in front of me, but I should be streaming. I should probably get to streaming, which is a bit disappointing because I really want this pasta. You might see me eating as I'm streaming. We'll see how this goes. Depends on how much I've got to talk about, really. Okay, so I can't remember where I'm up to yet again. I think I'm just wandering around looking for stuff to do. The game's loaded up, so let's get to it. Does this give me any indication? If I click on load game. Barony's Capel. No idea what I was doing. Oh! It's okay, the sauce just makes it look like you murdered and ate somebody. Well, you know, some people just shouldn't try me like that. How's it going, my cat? We tried to keep the chewing and noise down to a minimum. What's interesting a little bit is I didn't get a notification for a new follower I got yesterday, but apparently I got a new follower yesterday. Oh, that's why. Let's make that a panel. Move to grid. I do not want it there. I want it smaller. And over there. Okay. And I can get rid of minimize to dock. Not bad, working on art. So got my light box on my lap. So heavy. So heavy. Yeah, I've heard them things are pretty heavy. Right. So. Oh, Verask intrigued his grace with a story about his family that he kept as about a weapon that his family kept as a relic. What more might the master have to say? I don't recall. I really can't remember what I was doing last time. Oh, you were gifted a webcam. Nice, nice. Make, model, anything like that? Or is it just generic webcam? Here you go, and it's on. It'll do. So that requires Jode. That requires Tristing. Am I doing this? I mean, getting loyalty up isn't too important because it's already behind because of the economy. I really need to get to the economy up. And for that, I might need to build up my villages a little bit. Because if the economy rank is 3, then it limits the loyalty reward. It provides at the bottom there. I can't move my mouse to it. It says provides free BP, 1 BP lost due to low economy. So I need to get my economy up. That's going to end in a day. I think the journal says that this is going to happen in 154 days. Upgrade town, regions? Oh, this is something that I might choose to do. Is take over regions. But for that I need a lot of BP. I need either 225 or 375, and I've only got 83. Yeah, hopefully it will last longer than your DSLR. I've seen other streamers attempt to do that kind of thing with the DSLR, and it works, but it's only as long as the battery holds out, or only if you've got a massive power supply behind it. One of the good things about webcams is that they're generally designed to, you know, work from the USB port. Only problem there is the quality isn't so good. Compared to the DSLR. I'm going to continue eating my murder. So, okay, that'll happen in a day, and that'll increase my BP by 1 per week. I don't really know what else to do, apart from go see this guy about a weapon. I could buy some more build points. But if the rank up happens for economy... Okay, let's skip a day. Let's get this one done. Boom. Did that help the economy at all? No, it didn't. Okay. Search intimidator curses. Okay, so... Right. See, I know that... basically, if I take over more regions, it's going to naturally increase my economy. And also, it's going to earn me build points. I think. Not sure about that. I know that I can get an upgrade that'll... yeah, the quality is lower, but it's only me mug. And I can use... for... Oh, traditional art. I was thinking, what's the trad art? And why is it splitted over 2 lines? I just popping in and caught up probably too late, but I thought I'd let you know ASAP 25 is missing on your YouTube 24. I think I replied to your comment on YouTube. Yeah, unfortunately that is again missing and too late. I've actually... One of the things is I've actually started to number these sessions, so we can see in the description of this is session 37, which should help, hopefully, clear up some of the confusion that I've been having, maybe. And everybody's name is in green today. I wonder if I can refresh that and get it to give you new colors, because... That is so confusing. Everybody's talking and your names are green. Oh, there we go. Okay. Josh, you're in red. Jay, you're in purple. Kichiga, you're still in green. Does what help? Saying that it's session 37 in the description of the episode. It's more going to be along the lines of if I download it, or when I go to YouTube. Oh yeah, no, everybody's colors are unique for everybody. I think there's a way of making yours so that it's overridden, so that either it appears in a certain color or if I change yours, then it'll always be purple or whatever. But no, it's one of them where it's like it's random, and it's not usually that bad. It's not you know, and there's only a few colors that it'll actually cycle through. So to a certain degree, you have to pay attention to the names, but at the same token, it doesn't help when there's 3 people in chat and they've all just got the same color. Right, so what to... See, I get the feeling I should claim these other regions, which is a part of this annexation. It will also then give me, at some point, another village. Or it will give me 2 more villages, maybe. Kind of. If I've got the BP for it. How much BP do I need? I need a lot of BP, but I can afford a lot, I think. I can afford an... Oh god, I'm running out of money. 481, and if I claim the Nile Marches, that's 225, and then I can build a village. Or, I've actually sorted out a lot of the stuff now. Do I want to build in these villages with the BP that I've got, and see if I can't get my economy up? Also, you don't want to burn through your DSLR's life. There's that too. It's no camera, so I need to take more care of it. I feel like I should have known that. Maybe build up before expanding. Yeah, my main thing is I'm not sure, you know, to a certain degree, one of the questionable stuff, I can't actually view the questionable stuff, is to get the other, you know, relationships give that a rank, arcane give that a rank, stability, and for relations I need community to rank 4. For divine, no, for arcane I need to get divine up to rank 4. It's currently 1. Stability, I need military up to 4. Culture is loyalty, which is up to 4, which I've already done. And then espionage, I need relations to get to rank 4. So that's espionage is probably going to take me the longest time. I mean, build up my economy. Okay. So, right, what's... Okay. So what's the economy look like? Terrible, I know, but oh yeah, I forgot to... There we go. Remove the background music. Right. Relations, military, stability. More build points than I own. Community, loyalty, ooh, arcane if... What? I have the herbalist house? Do I have a herbalist house? I do not have a herbalist house. But can be upgraded to the alchemist laboratory requires town, which then provides 1 additional arcane. Community loyalty, what was I after? I was after economy. Divine and arcane. Stability and espionage. Community, divine, culture. Economy, lumberyard. A mill producing pre-cut logs, boards and wood material need +1 relations when located in a settlement with peers. I've got a peer. A sacred grove cannot be built in the same settlement as a lumberyard. You need to build a war factory before you build a battle lab. But only after you've got a refinery. Okay, so the little stack of coins is the economy stuff. Shrine. I thought I had a shrine. I do have a what? Oh no, shop. Alright, so a general store adds 1 to the economy when adjacent to a tavern. I have a tavern. I can't get it adjacent to the tavern though. Shoot. Should have built the tavern in the middle. Build another tavern. Okay, so the only thing that right, I've got the lumberyard, which is only 25 BP, and I can build 3 of those in each one of my towns. I think I can sell it, which then would shut it down, I believe. But it cost me 30 BP to build it. So it's not quite... Hey, Nightbody does actually send me that message. Ooh, good. So it's not quite great. And the thing is, I kind of want... Because I'm pretty sure the military... the barracks gets a +1 stability when adjacent to a longhouse. What? Oops. Well, that's a longhouse. Why is that not adjacent to it? I might have not known what I was doing. Does yeah, I don't know if diagonal counts, so I'd have to do the whole right. So it gets +1 stability when adjacent to a longhouse. So what's my stability? My stability is 1. Well, that makes it easier. Is there anything that gives me stability? Yes, my brewery. So no, it's not counting, because if it did count, then it would. Yeah, the main problem is it's all like how long it takes, and if you make a mistake and didn't quite understand it at the time, and it's all like, you know, several hours later, it's all, oh yeah, I see what I did wrong there. Like, I see what I've done wrong here now. It's all like, the tavern should have been more central because there's a lot of buildings that bounce off the tavern. The barracks should have been next to the longhouse rather than next to the tavern. Which would have made everything slightly slicker. So what does the library get? The library gets 1 culture when it's adjacent to the printing house. Okay. There's something, I'm getting a school for free. Place where local children learn to read and write. +1 divine when adjacent to a shrine. +1 military when adjacent to a barracks. Again. What's that green square? That one. I think that's where I don't know. I don't know what that square is. Maybe it's where you can build the lighthouse? Because I know that you have to build... Yeah, I think that's... Yeah. Yeah, it's the only place that I can build a lighthouse. Lighthouse. But it doesn't increase my economy for some reason. I might have a lighthouse, but nope. Don't get to trade any better. There's this bleeding wire. There we go. It is cold where I am at the moment, so I'm wrapped up. So yeah, I get a free school, but I get 1 military if it's next to the barracks. So it could go there. Or I could build a school next to the shrine, which will have to go there. What would be great is if that shrine was there, where the orphanage is. Could still move it. And then it'd be pinned between the two. This could be a right nightmare to try and figure out. Right, I just want the economy for the moment. And I don't know how high I need to make it, but I'm going to make it as high as I care. So the shop is 20 BP. The tavern is 30 BP, although that might only be for... Oh, right. I think to a certain degree this town is just a bit of a write-off anyway. The lumberyard. The lumberyard is all... Well, that's 25 BP, so I think I'm going to go with the shop. And it needs to be adjacent to the tavern, which it can't be. To get a free... Oh, +1 economy when they're adjacent to the tavern. How much did things cost? See, there's the barracks and there's the bulletin board. A bulletin board is 30, a barracks is 45. So if I sell the bulletin board, it shouldn't cost too much to reposition it. Oh. It's essentially free. So I put the bulletin board there because it doesn't really matter too much. It doesn't seem to affect anything. And then I put the shop next to the tavern. It affects the forge, the foundry, and the smithy. Smithy gets economy. The forge, the foundry, and the smithy. Right, does this get upgraded? The smithy becomes a foundry, which I'm assuming then becomes a forge. Okay, so I need to just double check. Shrine adds divine. Printing house doesn't get upgraded. Brewery doesn't get upgraded. Orphanage doesn't get upgraded. The longhouse becomes a town hall, but gives me the loyalty. The barracks gets more military. The tavern gets better relations. The shop gets community. And the bulletin board is currently building in progress, but doesn't give me anything like that. Okay, right. So that's increased my economy by 2. Right, that's 1 town done. Do you need them in... Do you need them in any order? Do I need what in any order? The stats? Or... yeah, no, you're going to have to clarify. Right, so now we go to Shambling Steps, which only has a tavern and a weapon shop. Not entirely sure where anything is. Okay, there's a tavern, there's a weapon shop. The weapon shop gets a plus... the humble shop for low class and +1 to the economy when adjacent to a tavern or longhouse. Well, there's a tavern. So this place is actually giving me 2 economy, which is good so far. But what I kind of want to do is put in a shop for another 20 BP next to the tavern, and that'll give me another 2 economy. Right, that's 2 towns sorted. Right, let's see what you've got. You've got an armor shop. You don't have anything else. Right. +1 to the economy when adjacent to a tavern or a longhouse. So if I put in a tavern, which is under T, you can spell Paul, which will give me an economy. We'll boost that in his economy, and then I get another point of economy by building a shop there. Right, I think I'm running out of BP, but I'm not afraid to buy BP, especially since I think I've just got the 1 town to sort out now. Yeah, the 1 town to sort out, which is over here. Which has got neither a tavern nor a shop. But we do have +1 economy when built next to a tavern or a longhouse. See, I should probably try to move that out here then. Sell for 15. Right, sell that. put that back there. Get a tavern and a shop for 40 BP. Shop goes there, tavern goes there. And that should hopefully boost up my economy a little bit. There's a lot being built. And it's going to take 7 days. In the meantime, I think I'm going to complete this one, which is going to take 14 days with Jod. And we'll take my divinity up, which will give me another BP because it's less than my economy. And also the economy should jump up after 7 days. Ta-da! I've supported him. We now devastating raids. People have begun to disappear from the area. The barony troops once more lost the trail of the slavers of mobile camp. That wasn't very good, Tamari. Oh, I've got a lot of events. Okay, right. But my economy is now up to 61, which is great. Imagine if you replayed this with all the learning you'd have, all this, yeah, possibly. I brought a petitioner to you, Laymar Titch, a famous expert on everything regarding alcohol and beverages which feature it. Our impatient guest wanted very much to speak with you in person and tell you all about their project. The halfling before you looks young. His sharp eyes, framed with slight wrinkles, give away the petitioner's considerable age. Lymar nods politely, sweeping the floor with his beret and showing off an emerging bald spot. My respects, Baron. I beg your forgiveness for how boldly I sought our meeting, but I could hardly trust anyone with the fate of my beloved new child, which appeared to me in a waking dream as I walked your lands. You see, I was travelling on my way to Brevin, when to my surprise I discovered a most curious detail. It turns out that many spicy and bitter herbs, which I and my colleagues use in our work, grow wild in these lands. Wineberry, goatweed, gentian. Lymar bends his finger, enumerating the plants, and then waves his hands. These names probably mean nothing, but to me, it's a rich list of, is like a splendid palette, the foundation upon which a true masterpiece might be built. Your Grace, I once imagined settling in Brevany, but your lands have truly inspired me, and now my greatest dream is to open a shop in this very capital, with a bouquet that can easily gather nearby. I can easily create a new beverage, true ambrosia for any halfling. Only one thing is holding me back, lack of financial resources. I hope that now, upon hearing my request, you and your respected treasurer will not refuse my humble artisan a little assistance, of course in exchange for future percentage. Lymar bows deeply once. I shall eagerly await your decision. Boutique. Thank you. Do you want to hear my opinion? This business will fail. Halfling alcohol is like fruit juice for other races. It's nothing like dwarvish stout. You'll want to take a risk and put your money on a halfling drunkards? Well, it's your barony and your business. But remember, if I give this trader the money and he asks for it, Then tomorrow there'll be 10 more at your gate, just like him. Yeah, I'm tempted to say no to this because it's all like... It doesn't sound like a great idea to me. I don't care for this risk. Tell Lamar the answer is no. Jubilius silently nods in response. It's also more expensive than I can really afford right now. Alright, let's see what else is going on. Right, rank up. I can rank up my economy, which will help because I'll get 2 BP for that. But it's going to take 14 days and it needs my attention. So, herbalists. Jobs needed for that, which will increase my economy. The region is rich in natural resources but lacking in manpower. A group of foreign merchants begs permission to go over local herbs and other rare ingredients, which they can sell for a hefty price at home. To secure this mission, they'd be willing to pay a fee to the treasury. A famous river pirate made a statement before his execution. He claimed he buried his treasure somewhere in the domain of the Baron. Adventurers from all over the world are rushing to hunt for the treasure. Perhaps it's worth making sure that it doesn't go to one of the neighbouring states. Okay, I don't think... Well, you've not got anything else to do right now. Cheap publicity. A group of bards has offered to praise the ruler for a modest fee. Their songs will spread to the news to remote villages of Staglord's death and the shift in power. Their songs in praise of a new baron will keep the peasants loyal. Free loyalty or free community. It's not going to cost me anything, just time. Wolves are breeding at a surprising rate. The local forest is full of ravenous beasts and there's not enough quarry to feed them all. The starving wolves howl at night to gather in packs and attack villages. Emery, you know what to do. This year the gods have smiled upon the peasants. The grain crops are doing well and stalks are bowing to the ground under the weight of the food they bear. Such fortune is rare. Who will decide what to do with the sudden wealth? I mean, Jubilius is busy doing something else. And Urgot. Oh. It's a catastrophe. The entire region's grain harvest has been infected with Urgot. The local people are suddenly facing famine. I mean... Bumpahab. I don't see what can go wrong here. I have a bad feeling that's going to be very bad if Tristan fails it. So we'll start that one. If we move Jubilius over to this, is there anybody who can do this? No, there isn't. That's an 80% chance to succeed. That's only a 70% chance. So let's go for the herbalists. That's what I was thinking. It's like we've got a surplus here and a famine there. I mean, it's not like they're very far away. I think it's there and there. Oh no, that's a howling wolf. Where's the other one? Bumper harvest. Oh, it's there. Bumper harvest. That's the herbalists. Did I assign him? Yeah. So basically, to move it from there to there does not... It's only that far on my screen. I can walk that in a day or so. Yeah, okay. Right. Right, so, who is busy doing research into the nature of curses, Candlemere? That requires 100 BP. Trade agreements, that will require Jubilius, but I want to do the events. Right, okay, deal with that. Deal with that. Deal with that. and deal with it. There's nobody left to deal with that. Oh, I could check Jod out for jollies over there. But I kind of would prefer not to, because I think Jod is better at dealing with... So what's that one? That requires Arcane. Which requires Divine? Yeah, and Divine needs to go up a fair amount. So I can get my Arcane. Okay. Right, now, this one. Jod, it's going to take 100 BP, and I don't have 100 BP. God dang it, Jod. This kingdom will make me poor one of these days. Right, there we go. Yeah, my economy has increased. So my economy score has increased. Which means I need to get my economy rank up, which will give me the BP that you earn. So now the stats here should be economy is 4 because the tavern and the shop. The shop gets 2, the tavern gets 1, and there's something else here. The pier also gives me economy. Didn't one of my towns not have a pier yet? I mean, I don't really need to worry too much about getting it up too far yet. That's to get the loyalty up, that's to get the economy. Did it disappear? No, it didn't disappear. It never appeared in the first place. Right. There's literally not much that I mean, I can go to see this guy. Or I could just wait it out. How many days? 10 days, 14, 14, 10. And that's 60 days. Okay, let's see if there's anything that I can actually do out and about. Let's go on an adventure. Have I emptied my bags? Just about. Stick with the usual suspects. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. Hey, Deep Silver liked my tweet for once. Deep Silver are the publishers of this game, by the way. I tweet out every time I go live, and so infrequently do they actually respond. I mean, I don't expect them to respond. I think he's here. I think it's here. We'll find out when I get there, and it turns out not to be. You spotted peaceful travelers. I shall approach. Oh, it's you again. Do you have anything good for me? Slightly concerned that a lot of these now have sort of like frost, corrosive, flaming, holy, necrotic, shock, thundering. Oh, I already have the colossal shade. Oh, okay. Infiltrator's armor. Hello. Not quite as good as my armor. which is a shame. Robes of consciousness. Oh, that's interesting. Gloves of dexterity, which give a +2 enhancement bonus. Same as a belt of physical form, but it's not a belt. Headband of vast intellect, tight helmet. Enchanter's cape. Yeah. Some stuff that sound really good, but then when you read it, it's like, do you think your prayer ranks up, you'll be able to sail across the lake rather than go around it? That might be a thing, because one of the things...
All according
we go to the map. Whee! Come on, off the map. Have you seen Valerie's headwear? I think it's Valerie. I think I gave it to Valerie. There's a lake over here, and you can take the boat from that side to that side. There doesn't appear to be much there, but you can take the boat. Right, I was going to this town. That's what I was doing. Totally forgot what I was doing then for a moment. What'd be interesting to see to a certain degree is at some point you can actually cash out BP for gold. Because that would make a lot more sense to me. It's better than a backwards baseball cap. Boom. Put down your shield. It's a top hat. It's a professor's hat. And while wearing it increases the party carrying capacity by 200 pounds, and it contains all masterwork tools possible, providing the wearer with a +2 competence checks on all skill checks. It's a wizard's hat. It's actually got her finally, you know, if I take this off for a second, you can see it jumps straight up to medium, and that slows it down by like 10 feet. Affects the armor check penalty, max dex bonus, mobility, athletics, stealth. But with the top hat, it is light, and there are no penalties. Seeing the top hat reminds me, bro. I mean, not sure why it reminds you that you need a brew or you want a brew. One of the two. But you go for it, Mike. Right. What is this relic you spoke of? Can I help you fix it? It's a hammer named Obliteration. Hold it with both hands. Whenever you hit, the only thing left will be a greasy spot. I gave it to my son when it got too heavy for me. He named it Nibber. You see, its head has beak-like wedges made of inubrix. Inubrix is very hard celestial metal. It cuts through iron like a knife cuts through butter. It was a fine hammer. Nobody knows how many skulls it cracked. It broke the day my son was killed. The hammer's head it cracked all over. The hammer's head cracked all over from a magical blow. It needs to be reforged, but where possible, where can I possibly get any inubrix? Without that, the hammer is just an ordinary sledge. You can use it to hammer posts or tie it to your neck and drown. But technically, is bound to have some. If you come across any of their camps, you might find inubrix there. Remember what you required to reforge your hammer. Bricks! In the celestial metal that looks a little like lead. It's pretty rare, but you might find just enough in the technically camp. I cleared that place out like ages ago. I managed to restart Outer Worlds over Crimbles and encountered my first top hat in that also. There's top hats in Outer Worlds? I'm trying to remember. I've also been to the technically camp, but let's go again. Why not? It's something to do. Huh?
I need to catch my breath.
You carry on until everybody's tired.
When we stop.
Okay, now we stop. I can't remember seeing it, but it wouldn't surprise me if there is top hats in Outer Worlds. It seems like that kind of game. Okay. And Kingdom wants something of me. It's probably to go to the throne room and talk to somebody. Happy birthday to you, Baron. Is that my birthday? The Baron's birthday is a special date for a young nation. It's thanks to him that we had the opportunity to claim the stolen lands and establish a new country in Galarian. Today is a day to forget about your troubles and revel in celebration. Today is a day to remember. Official visitors have come from all across the River Kingdoms, except Pitax. Bella. Am I supposed to do something with this day? Eh. I'll celebrate it when I get back to. I can't believe it's Charon's Day again. I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure my guy's already had a birthday once in this game. Not entirely sure if you can see where you set it to either. Because it's one of them weird things, you actually get to set it in the character creation. I would guess if there are visitors, there might be events going on back there. Maybe. It doesn't say there is. Anyway, I'm almost there. I'm busy. I'll celebrate my birthday when I get back. Oh. Random encounter with bad guys. They are going to regret the day that they attacked.
Blood for Gorum!
Rue the day. I said rue it. Yeah, you are now a rue. What is a rue anyway? 2d20 Elder Dragons. I mean, to a certain degree. If 20 Elder Dragons turn up, you just ask them what they want. You don't start a fight, okay? And whatever it is that they want, they get. Are you overburdened? I think you are. You are overburdened. Is there anything I don't really want to give you the top hat. Where's all this weight coming from? You've already got a strength bonus. Jeez. Rue, oversized rat from Oz. 3 pounds, 1 pound, 25 pounds. Ah, that's where it's coming from. How heavy is my armor? 20 pounds. Need to either increase your strength or lower your encumbrance. Because that just told me absolutely nothing. Keep walking forward. We're right behind you. The Owlcat will help me. Help me with what exactly? The bad guy is already dead. Oh, there's another one. You made a mistake.
Look at me, Gorum!
You went before Amory. Yeah, I like the fact that that cat is an ally, but at the same token it's like, yes, against two bandits. Interesting, Old Shaky made it the term rue the day famous. Rue comes from the ye old English word of hero one? To make sorry. I mean, that's words that you've put there. But the word heroon, what her eon, somehow to translate to rue. I don't get it. My main problem with this little settlement is I'm pretty sure I robbed it at one stage. Why is the map covered up? Did they resettle? Hello?
Running won't help you!
Bandit transmuter, bandits.
Consider me provoked.
Valerie, go take out the guy with the bow. I forgot to switch her back after I was ditzing around with the hat.
Tear them apart!
These bandits have such jolly tents. Oh, you're fairly high level. Your friends still can't hit squat.
This should do it.
Yes. Regret taking the attacks. Tristan focused on that guy.
Ray, be generous to them, for I am not.
Tristan, you're vicious sometimes, you know that?
This is for you.
Right, let's switch this back to a sword and board.
Let us strike as one!
And then this. I mean, you're just being rude now.
A calculated risk. repent.
Do not falter!
One of the things I do like about Pathfinder, I'm not sure if this happens so much in D&D or what happens if in D&D. It's actually kind of a curious question. So, in Pathfinder, basically, if somebody casts haste on you, if somebody casts slow on you, rather than trying to dispel the magic, all you do is cast haste on yourself and the two counter each other out. So if I cast haste on somebody in D&D, it's in here somewhere. They get the benefits of choose a willing creature that you can see within range. Until the spell ends, the speed is doubled, its AC is increased by a bonus of 2, and it has advantage on dex saving throws, and it gains an additional attack on each of its turns. This action can only take the attack, one weapon attack only, dash, disengage, hide, or use object. When the spell ends, the target can't move or take any actions until its next turn, as a wave of lethargy sweeps over it. I think it's Starfinder, but I'm not sure. I'd have to go looking up that as well. Which I might do. Whereas slow, see, to a certain degree, it'd be interesting if the wording was basically the reverse of it. So it's a -2 penalty, half movement speed, etc., etc. Silence. Sleep, sleet, slow. The affected creature's speed is halved. It takes a -2 penalty to AC and dex saving throws, which is pretty much on its turn. It can either use an action or a bonus action, not both. Regardless of the creature's abilities and magic items, it can't make more than one melee or ranged attack during its turn. The creature attempts. If a creature attempts to cast a spell while with a casting time of one action, roll a d20. On 11 or higher, the spell doesn't take effect until the creature's next turn, and the creature must use its action on that turn to complete the spell. If it can't, the spell is wasted. So yeah, it's one of them where it's like it's almost pretty much a counter to it, but it doesn't actually counter it. And because slow is slightly worse, because it says regardless of anything, magic items, abilities, etc., it cannot take more than one attack in action, a round. So I suppose you could use the action, the extra action you get to dash, and then use your main action. But even if you were a fighter of level 5 or above, it doesn't quite balance out because you're going to only take one attack. Spells are really painful when under the influence of slow as well. I am actually curious about the... Go on, play the music. Starfinder. Archives of Nephis. Archives of Nephis. I would go get my book, but it's over there somewhere. Effort. Starfinder. Spells. Technomancer, because I'm pretty sure both are on here. It's... To a certain degree, it's one of them. It's all like, as with many things D&D, it's as with many things anything. You know, you can rule in Starfinder, but that's not how it works, even if the text says that it works. And to a certain degree, you know, in D&D, you can say, no, you know, the haste is instantly negated by the slow. Haste counters and negates slow. Slow counters and negates haste. So yeah. Creatures affected by this spell are staggered. So yes, basically they do counter each other out in... Oop. Close that window. No. There we go. Sorry, I had YouTube windows open and it was going to make noise at me. Alright, so anyway. So yeah, to a certain degree, you know, yes, you know, you can basically say in D&D, it's all like, eh. You know, they counter each other out, don't bother tracking the hasted, slowed creature. Or likewise in Starfinder, you can be so like, nope, you will track them independently. I mean, I do wish they'd stop casting it. Because that's just rude.
This will hurt. You forced my hand.
Let's see another one of them tricks.
Onwards!
Serves you right.
Oh.
Bring it!
The other wizards out of tricks. Freaking pincushion.
Let's try this way. I'll try to make this swift.
Oops, didn't mean to do that.
Stay behind me!
Otherwise, stay behind me, where you've got your back to the woods that nobody can get to.
Tear them apart!
Calm down. Not dead yet.
That is just bullshit. Go, get over near Tristan. Kind of.
Let us strike as one!
I don't have any more. I mean, I can risk it for this one. No, it succeeded. It's kind of expected.
They go down!
Hideous laughter would have been good too. Stop this guy from turning me into a pincushion. Jesus. Alright. I'll take the ring. Masterwork, masterwork. Masterwork. Masterwork, masterwork. Composite bow still expensive.
How may I help?
Austin, do me a favor and patch me up a lot. That'll do. Ah, Inubrix. A fine feather. Which is apparently worth a gold in these parts.
That is not far.
Bum, bum, bum. Ba-da-da-da-dum. Live. I suppose I'll go back to Loachingdale and find out if there's a surprise for me. Oh, the celebrations were spectacular. Everyone participated in rivalries, from peasants to the Baron's entourage. And I got 75 BP out of that. Happy birthday to me. Oh, Amory wants to talk. In the front. I mean, why she can't just talk on the road, I don't know. Apparently that's not good enough for her.
I need to catch my breath.
Bum, 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 bum. You're not Amory. Are you? You really don't look Amory. Amory looks unusually grim today. Listen, we need to talk, but not in front of everyone. After the council ends, come to the tavern. It's about my tribe. My old one from before. That is not Amory. Well, it's something to do, I
As
suppose.
it should be.
Tavern. Yes, but the thing is, if you speak in a hole, then people's ears might prick up to listen, because it might generally be quiet. Here in a tavern, and that is, I've just realized that's an owlbear rug. Look at the size of that thing. Oh, the giant owlbear that almost destroyed the capital has become quite popular in his new role. Whereas in a tavern, if anybody's ears start pricking up and Amory notices, she can just go smash their face in and get them to not listen for a while. That would be Amory's logic. The Baron sips the barbarian sips a beer from a mug with a grim look. She hesitates as if she doesn't know where to begin. Once I told you about my tribe, remember? The Six Bears, of course I remember. I don't remember. Me, I'd be happy to forget, but they were spotted on your lands. Our scouts told me their camp was near Numenera. The Numenera border. That's odd. They're a long way from the realms of the Mammoth Lords. Exactly. Leaving Homeland and heading off south, where strangers live. The tribes have never done this. I really hoped I'd never see these ugly faces again. I walked across Numenera to be as far from them as I could, and now they follow me. What the hell? So let's visit my old tribe, find out what they want so far from the snow, and then we can kick them back. She finishes up her beer in one gulp, then belches and stumbles towards the tavern maid to order another. Well, that was to the point. Right, everybody's starting to get tired, so let's just double check the catalogue. I don't really want to say catalogue, but I can't think of another word for it. We don't want to burn. bum 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 bum. Luckily your courtiers didn't hear that. Okay, I think everybody's busy doing things. So I can't spend any of this BP. Oh, I can build things out of the BP. I'll see where I end up with the economy once I've got time to sort the rank ups out and see if I need to double down on the economy, in which case I'd need to go gather another region, or whether I can actually get to rank 4 in the economy. Build some new houses for the 6 Spear tribe. Who are the 6 Spears? Is my pronunciation of 6 bear that bad? Bear, spear, 6 bear. Yeah, I suppose I could be 6 bear. The 6 bear tramp. Tramp camp. Oh my word, no wonder people can't understand what I'm saying. Oh, yeah, it's 6 bear tribe, I think. Doesn't actually tell me on this. Oh wait, it tells me here. Yeah, 6 bears camp. Random encounter. Enemy spotted. Go find out how many there are.
Any last wishes?
Is that it? Just the one? Do 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 do. Kaboom! I didn't sell my crap while I was in town. Oh. Pretty sure I'm fine. Yeah, I'm fine. I will be quite curious to see how much the kingdom and the nature of your kingdom affects the aesthetics in the game. You know, because to a certain degree, it's like you could go down a very, you know, focus on the divine or the arcane or something along them lines. So that, you know, just about every building spot in
Need to catch my breath.
all of your kingdoms, all of your towns and villages is got something to do with the arcane in there.
I'm hungry. When we stop?
We stop right about now, now that Valor is dead.
Hey, do you have some horrible secret? Maybe you like to drink, or you used to be an inveterate gambler? It's just that when I'm writing about you, you just come out flat. It's unnatural.
Truth be told, I don't really understand what you mean.
Wow, Lindsay is harsh. And I like Tristan, just the way he is. Right, let's find out what the 6 bears want.
In due time.
Save yourselves! It's them again! What?
To victory!
Nightmare Skeleton Soldier. I mean, I'm tempted to stand back and watch the barbarians deal with them. But where'd be the fun in that?
Bring it!
Alright, see you later, J Station. Enjoy your food.
Do not falter!
I mean, you guys really don't know how to deal with skeletons. First of all, you gather them all up into one spot, and then you let your cleric take care of them. And I've done it again, I've moved too far. Blood and sun. Oh, there's more of them. That didn't sound pleasant. Oh, you're still alive. Oh. I possibly should have cast haste on everybody. Bum 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 bum. Welcome to round 2. Fight. So glad after a fashion that this is in turn-based mode. Seeing all these people charging around and going this way and that will probably get really confusing really fast.
Onwards!
What are these guys? No damage reduction 5 apart from the bludgeoning. I don't think I do much in the way of bludgeoning damage.
So it's come to this.
I do a lot of electrical. Barbarian bites the dust.
This is where I step in.
Really should get Lindsay some better stuff. Let's, can we? Yeah, go murder
This
that
should
one.
do it.
Immune to cold, is it? These are not all built. Oh wait, no, immunities is further down. I think it says cold. I'm not sure. And there's just one more bad guy left. Raw. Oh, there's 2 bad guys left. There's 3 bad guys left. They're multiplying.
Stay behind me.
Repent!
I'll fight if I have to.
Always one of them weird things. It seems to get chillier when the radiators come on.
Serves you right.
Probably the only thing that I can think is what the radiators are moving the air around.
A calculated
Slowly
risk.
warming it up. But that slow warming it up and moving the cold air around is basically causing a tiny little bit of wind chill. Neckley, as soon as you approach the camp, a bright-eyed young girl in a long skirt runs up to Amory and gives her a big hug. Amory, you're really alive! Oh, the girl sobs and wipes an eye. Everyone said you were killed by the giants. I always believed you'd survive, but no one ever found your body. Amory, I've missed you so much. There now, stop crying. I'm alive and well. You know nothing can beat me. Here, meet each other. Nicola, this is Baron Chiron. He's something like a new chieftain for me now. Chiron, this is Nicola. She's the only decent person in this my whole lousy tribe. Don't say that. The elders were mean to you, but you shouldn't blame the whole tribe. Having wiped eyes, Nicola presses her hands against her chest and bows before you. Or it's a warm, mostly felt by your head. It's uncovered. And it takes a while to warm you up. Your clothes, thus your body can feel the cold briefly as your head feels the warm. Potentially, I suppose, but it's mainly my hands that feel cold. Than the lower part of my legs. It might be the case. I don't know. Also, I don't feel that it's very warm up there. Might be slightly warm. I don't know. And don't. I am Nicola, Songkeeper of the Six Bears. You must be the ruler of these lands. Forgive us for intruding into your domain, but we. Wait, really? You're really the Songkeeper now? That's great! Since when? Circulation is worse in my hands. Feet not so much. But they'll be cooler in a... I don't think my circulation's that bad. I don't know. I don't know what it is to have bad circulation. I know my hands are cold. Colder than my face. This is just making my face cold. Anyway, I always wanted to be one. While you were learning to fight, I learned the legends. While you were training with the sword, I trained with the tambourine. But I was initiated during your funeral feast, Amory, when we were saying goodbye to you and your party. I sang at the funeral pyre, and my heart broke in pain. Desna whispered to me and told me how I could turn this pain into power. Even the stones and rocks cried over the fallen when they heard my song that night. So you're a bard. Great, me too. We should share some songs when we have time. You can tell us what they sing in your tribe, and I'll tell you about all of... And I'll tell you all about Amory's feats. I'd like that. Nice to meet you, Nicola. May both our tribes live in peace. We... An old grey-haired barbarian with a tattooed face interrupts us. Nicola, who are you chatting with? Who are you? Wait. You, pariah. Freak. After all you did, you still have the nerve to come and show your ugly face here. Chieftain, Akita, this is Baron Chiron. We're on his lands now. Please soften your heart. Maybe he can help us. A baron. That's something like a chieftain, right? You don't look like one. Well, whatever. I'm Akia, chieftain of the Six Bear tribe, and I need to give me this dirty scumbag. I beg your pardon? Watch your tongue, chief. You are a guest in these lands. Uninvited, and not particularly welcome. Quiet, woman. The chiefs were talking. You think you can talk back to a warrior just because you learned to put on armor? Doop-de-doo. You sound like you're not too clever, so I'll speak in a language I'm sure you'll understand. One more rude word and I'll punch your rotten teeth down your throat. You threatened the Six Bars, you foolish pup. Don't waste your breath. Thanks to her, we've witnessed horrors you can't imagine. Just let me tell what she's done to us. From the dawn of time, our tribe lived with the old ways. Everyone had a place, a job to do. Men crafted and went hunting. Women bore children and kept huts clean. These are the ways set by our ancestors. We do not change it. But then this upstart girl wants to match herself against men. She passed the warrior's initiation. She went hunting. But there's truth in the saying, nothing good comes from a woman with a sword. Neighboring tribes laughed at us. She's a second chieftain in the tribe. Soft chieftain, girl chieftain. It must be the end of Six Bears, and they were right. She brought disaster upon the whole tribe. Once a gang of giants came onto our lands. They scared our prey, attacked our huntsmen, so we decided to deal with them. We sent a group, and she went along. For a long time, we waited for this group to return. When we went searching for them, even longer. But all we found were their dead bodies. Giants killed them all. Everyone except for her. And then things got even worse. Have you seen those monsters? The evil spirits send them. The ghost of a giant. He's the one who chased us from our lands. He chased us all through Numenera. Even now, he's somewhere nearby. Maybe just over that hill. He chases us, kills our people, and always the same. Bring the thief to me. Find Amory. The chieftain turns to Amory, red-faced with anger. He shouts, slobbering in her face. Now you understand? That's what your dream cost us. You brought a curse upon our tribe, pariah. Now hand me your weapons and get yourself to the woman's hut. It is your place. It always was and always will be. We'll feed you to the ghost, and maybe he'll leave us alone. At least you'll atone for a tiny part of your guilt. In reply, Amory headbutts the chieftain's face, breaking his nose with a sickly crunch. Paying no heed to Nicola's squeal and growling in anger, she leaps upon him, punching the old man's face. The chieftain spits blood and struggles to speak. And Amory grabs her sword. You realize that a murder will quickly follow. I mean... part of me is all like, this is their problem. I say nothing and watch. But unfortunately, I'm a good guy. Amory, stop. Enough. He's already got what he deserves. Amory raises a sword. Akaya shuts his eyes, but the final blow never comes. Amory sheaths her sword, pushes the chieftain onto the ground and spits on him. Get lost out of my sight, you scumbag. Next time I see you. I won't stop at words. I am proud of you, Amory. Returning the sword to the sheath and avoiding bloodshed. That is a true feat that not many are capable of. Oh, get lost. This isn't a time for your lectures. Nicola helps the chieftain stand up and takes him to the nearest hut. The rest of the barbarians hurry away, hiding themselves from Amory's anger. Panting heavily and swaying like drunk, Amory approaches you and puts a bloody hand on your shoulder. That old Galt said, some evil spirit must be somewhere nearby. Let's go, find him, and we'll kill him. And then we can make them go back where they came from. I don't owe them nothing. I don't want to see them never again. Destroy the evil spirits that haunt the six-bear tribe. Huh. Well, that didn't take much to find. Alright, it's time to break out all the magics. Head's falling. Headset's falling off my head. I like Valerie's taskbar. It's so clean compared to everybody else's. Right, go engage the ghost. What we got? Resistance is electric. Is he even a ghost? Oh, he is. He's something. Silence demon to arms.
Tear them apart! Weak!
Lindsay, sing us a song. Tristan, there's one creeping up behind us. You forced my hand. Could you? Thanks. I suppose I should probably take care of... well, there's nobody else to assist me. That's going to be annoying.
This will hurt.
Someone creeping up behind.
You can't stop me!
Bum 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 bum. Where's my slow? What forgot? Ooh, bless. Oh. Forget that you don't target that one.
Let us strike as one!
I'd say nice try, but it really wasn't.
Look at me, Gorum!
Cat's Grace. Now, what else do we have? Fear. Can't fear a ghost. Serenity. Shout. Blur. Not really anything inspirational. Ooh, Good Hope. I mean, by the time this guy finishes casting spells, he'll be dead. Are you... No, you're not within range of it.
I'll try to make this swift.
Okay, first of all, you die.
Left yourself open.
And then we move up to
Let's
this guy.
try this way.
Oh. Alright. Am I expecting more from... I'll see how this round goes. Just go with the acid splash.
Provoked.
Do not falter!
Could do with something a little more than that. But I don't think I've got anything. Right, Lindsay, I would like you.
You
Brisket.
deserved it.
Did not pay off. Nightmare skeleton had. Combat reflexes, yeah. Okay, Tristan, no more Mr. Nice, godly person. Where is it? You have the ability to make them go boom. Boom. It's not as quite as big a boom as I would have liked, but oh well. Right. Move
This
up.
should do it.
Stab, stab,
Didn't even
stab,
break a sweat.
stab, stab. Oh, come on. Tavia finished that one for me. Or don't. Boots, armor, great axe. I don't like these people, so I don't consider it stealing. That's it. We're done with your evil spirit. We cut him to pieces and cast him to the wind. You didn't even try to speak to him? Amory, you've already fought and killed him many times. It's no use. He always comes back. Oh, Amory, do you always think slash first and think later? So what was I supposed to do? Lay on the ground for him? Let him eat me? I'm keeping silent in this one. Nicholas shakes her head in disappointment. Amory, I had up so much for so much after we found you. Everything will be better. What should we do now? You don't something. Come on, speak up. I can hear. I'll tell you what I don't like. You left me. Thanks to you, I realized that the woman can do something bigger than scraping hides and cooking stew. I hoped you would become chief and I'd be your advisor, and together we'd change the ways of tribes. But instead, you disappeared without even saying goodbye. But I had nothing left to but become Akia's advisor, who led this tribe through the whole of Numenera. Who do you think? Who negotiated with the other tribes, and who lived in the woman's hut all this time, serving dinner to the chieftain? And now I've found you ruin everything. Now the chieftain is angry. He's bound to do something stupid, and I won't be able to talk him out of it. Now tribesmen die, Amory, and all because of your itchy fists. Keep silent. Congratulations, Amory. You're just like a real man of the Six Bears. You only think about yourself. Use your fists whenever you need to or not, and then you leave it up to the woman to sort out your mess. So that's how you talk now. You want me to tell you why I smashed the old mushroom's face? Why I fled? I'll tell you. Listen now. You wanted it. The war party I went with. You think we want to fight the giants? I thought that too. I was so happy. I was a fool. We did not go there to kill giants, Nicola. We went there to kill me. They thought the giants would eat me up, and they won't have to get their hands dirty, but I came back, alive, and with this sword. I thought no one would dare say that Amory wasn't a real fighter, but they just laughed in my face and said that if the giants didn't kill me, the frost would. And then they left me alone in the wilderness, without food or tent. And then, when I understood why, when I saw that what this hunt was for, it was then, for the first time in my life, I felt real rage. Yes, Nicola, I don't turn away now. Looking in my eyes, I killed them all. With this sword, I'm not a thief, Nicola. I'm much worse. I'm Kinslayer. And you know what? I don't care. They deserved it. Our whole Dram tribe can go to a dragon's maw. And me too? What? Do I deserve to die? Should I go to the dragon's maw too? No, that wasn't what I meant. You're not like them. I am part of this tribe, Amory, and I don't want to help. And if you don't want to help me save it, you better leave. I'll manage without you. I'll ask the Tiger Lords for help. Amory spits on the ground and grabs your hand in an iron grip and drags you away without saying another word. Well, that just happened. I mean... It's kind of sad, but you know, it's one of them moral conundrums. SI is... Should Amory treat them like that? Should Amory just walk off and... not do anything? I kind of agree with what Amory did, but at the same token, it's one of them where it's like, maybe things could have come out better. But better for who? That's a better question.
I need to catch my breath.
I think one of the things, to a certain degree, is like any revolutionary change, and you know,
Hungry. When we stop.
that kind of change is quite revolutionary. It's like people are gonna get hurt. There's no ifs or buts about it, I'm afraid to say. Medium air elemental, is that it?
Can you make an epic pose? I need inspiration.
Maybe I should have turned the party around slightly before doing that. Oh well. Welcome, Ash, to life anyway. This is... Have you played Pathfinder Kingmaker?
A calculated risk.
A lot of the people that come by here tend to have played it. And I don't recognize you halfway through, yeah. Which... I'm currently up to... I have completed Season of the Bloom. After me or before me?
So it's come to this.
This is for you!
Right. I won't give out too many spoilers as to, you know,
I'll fight if I have to!
what exactly happens so far. This is my first playthrough. So I don't know what happens too much beyond this point.
Bring it!
I'm playing a Knife Master, is it called? Yeah, Knife Master Rogue. Lawful Good, which is a terrible idea, but somebody in my chat said, play Lawful Good, and it's like, alright, fine, I'll play Lawful Good. See, we all saved that saving throw, so basically this thing's just spinning around being silly.
This will hurt.
Getting a lot of weird stuff on the road these days, though. This is the first time I've ever really made any serious progress into the game, so I don't know how much the story adapts to what's going on. I'm guessing all your companions have their own little stories, and we've just bore witness to a chapter of. I don't know whether this will eventually get a scroll or whether that's the entire story. I'm kind of curious. I suppose at some point I should really sit down and talk to Octavia and see if she's got more of a story going on. Everyone's tired, but continue on anyway. And now we stop.
Gather our strength.
Most nobles I've seen were arrogant, even with their equals. And you aren't ashamed to be sharing a meal with former slaves.
I've lived among mercenaries for a long time, and they're a motley bunch. From nobles to branded convicts. In a situation like that, you quickly learn to judge people by what they do, not by the color of their coat of arms, or how ancient their lineage is.
How are you finding the game? I mean, depending on where you're up to. I'll say this, there are some parts where it either gets really rough, but I feel that it's worth persisting through them. Oh god, goblins. Lots of goblins. I'm trying to get the achievement for opportunist. It's not opportunistic. Is it opportunistic? No, it's trouble. No. There's one for surviving like 100 encounters.
Stay behind me! Justice!
And to survive 100 encounters, you need to actually be in 100 encounters. Finish that one off.
Stop me.
Thank you.
This is where I step in.
So it's basically a case of I could avoid a lot of these fights, but I want to try and get through them to get that achievement. And to a certain degree, the experience. Ouch, doesn't hurt. Regret it, regret it. Oh god, you nearly regretted it. Yeah, finish regretting it. Thank you. And it's over to the goblins. Yeah, drop it. Don't you just love it when you've not moved anywhere, but you're pretty sure you've lost something? Yeah, I'll turn up somewhere. Or it won't. Oh. Okay, Valerie, murder that one. Davia, murder that one. These are tough little goblins.
Let's try this way.
Do. I say they're tough. They're tough, but they're not exactly difficult to hit. How about you? So many goblins. Which one's this one? That's that one.
This is for you.
Yep.
Serves you right.
Bring it!
This should do it. A calculated risk.
You forced my hand.
So many goblins. So many goblins. Also, because of the way that the groupings are split, so like them, then me, then them, then me. So like, I don't really know what to do while I'm just waiting for them all to take their turn.
Do not falter!
I'll fight if I have to.
Wow, that was a terrible miss. Point.
Tear them apart!
Oop. And then it exploded.
Go down!
This will hurt.
I'll try to make this swift.
Kind of miss a combo. We're down to only 3 goblins.
You can't stop me.
You deserved it.
Can you charge? I don't think you. Oh no, you can charge.
Let's try this way.
Not bad.
So it's come to this.
Can you charge right across the clearing? No, you can't. I know it's kind of pointless basically getting them to charge across the clearing, but at the same token, it's like, eh. Just in case I do one of my fabulous total
Any
misses.
last wishes?
I gotta say, the longer I've been playing this, the slightly better my luck has been.
This should do it.
I think to a certain degree, it's just gotten to the point where I'm rolling so many dice that I'm not entirely sure whether it's luck anymore or whether it's just, you know, the fact that there's so many more dice. It kind of negates the bad rolls. Let's just leave. Survivor, that's what the achievement's called. I have survived 40 encounters so far out of 100. I'm not excessively concerned if I don't complete the achievement. Where's this bleeding wire? I need to stand up and readjust this blanket. Or blanket. It's a blanket with sleeves. Fold that round there and get the wire out. And fold this round there. There we go. And put the Continue on. Kingdom stuff is finished. Let's just take a quick look at that. The Howling Wolves and the Herbalists. Any other events going on? Nope. Support the treasury. He's finished. Okay, that's good. Trade agreement, that'll also be him, but I don't have a BP for it. That trade agreement I don't have a BP for. But I am slowly starting to build up the BP. I might be able to get this over region before too long. At 225. A couple of weeks. Something like that. 80, 150, 130, minus 2, plus 3. Yeah, 2 weeks I should be able to get it. Which I'll probably deal with. Because I do really want to get my economy up, because I'll bump up how many build points I get per week. I brought the metal you needed. Perfect. Now I have the material. Now comes the hard part. I need blood. An enemy's blood. The creator of the hammer hardened it in the blood of a sworn enemy. This made the hammer incredibly powerful and furious. Should you want to reforge it, it would require such reforge it. It would require another such hardening. I am old. Most of my enemies are dead, but there's one still breathing. The witch that slew my family. Oh, how I would love to harden the hammer in her blood. I can never defeat her though. I know she's been spotted in an isolated outpost in the forest. She's got a distinguishing mark. She's missing 2 fingers. She's got a look of a devil. If you slay the wretch, collect her blood and bring it to me. I'll give you the reforged hammer in exchange. I don't have anyone to leave it to. This will make you a clan member, avenging my family. Okay. The reforging of this hammer just took a creepy turn. Not entirely sure if I want to go up against a witch, but at the same token it's like, should be fine. Could be. Where is the witch? That's the question. And that's a clue. Yeah, the secluded lodge. Well, it's not the swamp witch's hut. That's a thing. Right, let's... Actually, no, I should be able to do it from here. Can I bring up? No. Oh, yes, I can. Yeah, I got plenty of carry capacity. Is that two-handed? Two-handed, yeah. Can't actually see the people across them. Right, so rank up Jubiliost. Let's get this done. Ba-boom. Thanks to the treasurer, the baron, the baron's economy has reached new heights. Woohoo! Such catastrophe, the council's decision to impose governmental control over the grain reserves made it possible to avoid famine. Choking on coffee. The people are praising the baron and his wise and decisive advisor. The bards listened carefully to the advisor's suggestions, and now they took to the road. Now, songs of praise can be heard in taverns across the barony. The bard hired by the curator immediately spread the word among the baron's subjects. The treasurer was found to be an Azmar, a collector from the capital. To show his gratitude, he opened a school of music and poetry. Oh, was found by an Azmar. Not bad. We got a few more BP out of that. New settlers. A caravan of settlers has entered the region, and people are dreaming of a better life, seeking a new home. Perhaps they will find happiness in the Sterling lands. Valerie, see to it be done. Combat priests. Several priests of various deities have volunteered to join the army. They are to become combat priests and use their spells to enhance soldiers. However, the army regulations may sometimes contradict the religious obligations of their followers. I mean, I don't like how many points I'm having to spend on this, but they're there to be used, I suppose. I hope. 10 lost taxes. Where are these taxes coming from? That's the question. Alright, does this... Oh, they're both busy right now. This one is too expensive. But at the same token, right, okay, let's deal with this witch and then maybe grab that other region. Fight. Oh, it's more goblins.
A calculated risk.
We've downed better ones.
I am so bored of dealing with goblins.
This will hurt.
Thing is, I also don't want to waste too much in the way of resources on these guys because, you know, they're goblins. Murder! Murder!
Outcome.
That was messy.
Onwards! Ha! Bring it!
Oh, he's running away from me. Why don't I get attacks of opportunity on these guys?
This is where I step in.
Oh no, that was Lindsay getting shot again. Thought it was Lindsay's turn. Not sure if I'm a big fan of it auto zooming in on whoever's got focus. It's awkward sometimes when it's like, oh, I just need to shoot this guy twice, and it's like, no, move the camera so you can't see.
Let's try this way.
Stay behind me!
Itchy eyeball. This one or this one?
Tear them apart!
Now hit the other one. Alright, miss the other one. See if I get See, I think this is one of the problems with video games. It's all like, as a GM, you would get to a certain point in the adventure where it's like, I'm not gonna bother setting up the battlefield for, 10 goblins who are barely worth any experience each. How much experience are these people worth? I'm sure it tells me somewhere. 45 EXP. When I need 38,000 to level up. So this bunch of goblins is not going to make for a very interesting combat. Because there's no real danger here. I mean, yeah, okay, the goblins might get off the occasional lucky shot and...
Let us strike as one!
It's not bad for the occasional bit of practice. For the players to make them feel powerful. But at this stage it's all like, I just want to kill all 10 goblins and go home. I should really avoid these things, but you never know because it doesn't really give you any hints. Whether it's going to be an interesting fight with, I don't know, a dragon, or whether it's going to be a crummy little fight.
I'll try to make this sweet.
Because it's a bunch of goblins. Charge at that goblin at the back. And then it exploded.
You deserved it.
Consider me provoked.
As a gem, you just skip over these trivial little fights if it came up on the random encounters table. You were feeling generous, I suppose. It's like, yeah, skip the fight, but you get the XP. You came across 10 goblins on the road and murdered them. I'm not even bothering looking at their loot. I'm just going to leave. I'll take a quick skim of it down this list. Yeah, but ball all of interest, so moving on. And continue. Enter the location. They're like putting the investigations here. So I need to come here and find the person with 2 fingers. Or missing 2 fingers. I mean, I'm looking for somebody who obviously looks like a witch first. Nope.
All according to plan.
Yeah, there's another investigation here that happens here earlier on in the story. And it's like, okay. Well, there's a stranger. Let's try talking to the stranger. The girl is eyeing you expectantly. Her hand is her hand is laying casually across a weapon. The hand is missing its 2 smallest fingers. Who do I have the pleasure of addressing? I am Charon, Baron of these lands. Who are you? I am the last wall Inquisitor, Iomede's servant. I'm looking for a dangerous criminal. His trail leads to the Solar Lands. The rascal is our only remaining member of a gang that spread terror across the lands. I vow to put an end to their bloody tale. What has a criminal done? The half-orc formed a gang with his wife, sons and daughters. Iomade alone knows how many people he killed for their money, how many children he deprived of parents. His whole family was awash in bloodshed until my comrades and I tracked him down and put an end to the violence. Only Varask managed to escape. I couldn't let the criminal go unpunished, so I swore to pursue him until one of us falls dead. I only lost his track here at the edge of a swamp of the Stolen Lands. You would hardly take an interest in this matter if you weren't involved. Do you know anything about Varask? Where is he now? Say the word and I'll rid your lands of the bastard. Hand me the map, I'll point you to the rascal. She narrows her eyes as she draws breath as if she's trying to sniff out Varask. Thank you. Iomade must have brought you to me. The bloody bastard will finally be punished. God dang it. I can get a weapon called Obliteration. Hoping for a witch. Again, that's stuff that I was looking at because I was doing an investigation. I'm not stealing it. I am lawful good. Yeah. Oof. Right, okay, let's go back to Loachingdale.
I need to catch my breath.
We can all rest when we get back to the capital.
I'm hungry. When we stop.
No, we're not going to rest 2 feet away from the bleeding capital. To the throne room! You can cure blindness with the scroll of remove blindness, which is one of those things I know too well.
We should gather our strength.
Let's rest in the bed. See what terrible things happened overnight. Nothing? Nothing went boom? So, did anything else crop up? No, not really. Can't really afford either of these right now. It's not a bad price. Can I afford 250 BP? Regions. Can't take over this place because both of those are busy, so we'll go for this one, which is far more expensive than I need. But I need 124 of these. Oof. Nope, wrong one. This one. Better be worth it in the end. Declare Silverstep part of your kingdom. Your barony has expanded. It now includes Silverstep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I might have just completed the quest. Hurrah! You have already found the only available settlement in the region Loachingdale. Region updates are not available yet. Okay, so that's a thing that I didn't know was going to come up at some point. This region hasn't been claimed yet. Only one settlement can be found in this region. I didn't mean to click that. I didn't want to... Well, who's this? Judd nibbles at his moustache annoyed. Oh, these stolen lands are a breeding ground for filth. No sooner have I dealt with one crisis, but another is on its way. This time, a preacher of a religion that no one's ever heard of has ventured into your lands. People say that this priest speaks of some speaker of the deeps. Depths. PTH is rather difficult to say. Depths. It's the first time I'm hearing any of this, but the name alone says you shouldn't expect anything good from them. But alas, not all our people are reasonable as you and I. The preacher has already gathered his followers. Your Grace, I beg you, please decide what to do with them. If you ask me, I say we should run him off with a pitchfork. I have never heard of these speaker of depths. Who are they? I know many gods, some that show favour to mortals, some show wrath, but some want nothing to do with the peoples of Glorian. The speakers of the depths may be of this sort, who knows? All I them in a reason to prevent your subjects' heads from being filled with such rubbish. I forbid this preacher to fill my subjects' heads with this rubbish. Throw him out. Well said. There's simply too many of these. There are simply too many of those. Loyalty up, stability up, divine protection from poison. Support the High Priest's endeavors. So we can get our divinity up another rank. Oh, who's this? You gonna lie and tell me it's Amory again? Yeah. Listen to me, Charon. I didn't become your general to chase criminals and hang bangers. I used to be able to deal with it along with everything else, but now your army is big and I don't have any extra time for guard duty. You need to hire a warden to keep order on your the streets. There's something else. Your soldiers are gonna have to start sleeping on the ground outside. There are more and more soldiers, but there aren't no more houses for them. Of course, I'm all for teaching the new recruits how to survive in any conditions, but these wimps will run away like babies if they don't get beds. Here's what I think. If we build a barracks for them, let's do it on the border. Let them find their feet first, patrol the area and catch some spies. And if someone attacks us, then good. A real battle is better than any training. What do you say? Where do we put the barracks? We'll place the barracks at the borders. That's more like it. Let them see firsthand what it's like to be a warrior. Anybody else? So? Mim Wobbleganger. There you are. I wanted to see you in person for a long time. All of Brevany is talking about your feats. The girl is smiling curiously, sizing you up and finally nods. Mim Wobbleganger, the greatest goldsmith in Restov, at your service. Happy to meet the ruler of this land. You know, it's quite beautiful here, with the view of the lakes surrounded by the picturesque green forests. We're an inspiration for a lovely brooch design. I do have the sapphire, but no green jewels, and I've no idea who can help me with this. We're surrounded by simpletons here, who know nothing of the sublime matters, except you, of course. Mim looks at you meaningfully. What is the greatest goldsmith in Rostov doing in this backwater? Seeking recognition and inspiration. You see, not everyone in Rostov realizes how unfairly destiny has divided its gifts between me and my competitors. I got all the talents, you see, and they got all the glory and respect. It's all nonsense, though. I'll soon remedy that it's irksome situation. Besides, I'm mortally tired of Rostov dust and greyness. And the view from here to the tors of Lemnes are beyond compare. Just look at those peaks, such mysterious power in their easy dignity. Why should I help you? Let's see, if I am to be provided an appropriate place of work, I won't mind staying for a while to draw upon some special inspiration these lands give me. Of course, I would express my gratitude to my patron from time to time, with gifts befitting his status and my mastery. Very well, you shall have your gemstone. Wonderful. I shall impatiently await your return. I have no idea where I'm going to get a gemstone for you, though. Is everybody done pestering me for today? The settlers listened to the region and agreed that the lands would make a fine shelter. They are ready to invest in a future in the region. Advisors. Ooh, a warden. Ooh, I can choose somebody. Pick him. Keep him where I can see him at least. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ah, could have put you there. Who are you? Oh, you're the peasant who got sent to help me. Treasure. Oh no, you're busy with something, so you can't be swapped out. Right, economy. Combat priests. Several priests of various deities have volunteered. The soldiers were able to acclimate themselves to military routine. Their magic enhances our warriors, and their healing spells will cure many wounded soldiers. Woo. Okay, there's that. There's that. Anything? Okay, border training camps. You need 125 BP, and I do not have 125 BP. I don't have 500 BP either. Rank up 2. Support the general. Support the high priest, but he's busy. Loyalty doesn't really need to go. Military could do with going up though. I could do that one. Right. Divine protection from poison. Immunity provides immunity poisons for all the claimed regions. It's a curiosity. Faith and loyalty. Loyalty and faith. The subjects of the Baron page that are undying loyalty and support. This opportunity should be seized. Right. Do your stability your rank 1. Your community loyalty and your waiting a level up. I don't want to do you yet. Your community. Okay, let's go for you. Do I want to burn a crisis point on this? No, let's... Nature's rage. Animals are flying into inexplicable rages. Wild beasts emerge from the woods and attack people. Livestock try to kick their owners, and even loyal dogs bite the hand that feeds them. Someone must find the cause of these strange events and put a stop to them. Tristan, you deal with it. What's in the other category? Defenders of the land. Oh yeah, that's the barracks that you want building, but we don't have the BP for it. But we can rank you up. That'll buy us 14 days. And then we'll be ready for it. No, should be. Oh, I need to go find that emerald. The warden was quick to organise a visit by Mivov Samvas for a fair amount of attention. The contented and leisurely appearance of the gathered on looks to impress the guests. Alright. Be impressed. The warden needs your advice. Okay. Go. Rest in peace. A pro. That's... You're some of the highest ranking people. The giants. Craftsman strength, Jubileost. Let's to the throne room. Let's see what else is going on. And Creston bows hastily and starts talking right away. Bandits attacks continue in your barony. In some places, the people are scared of leaving their houses even at dusk, not to mention in the dead of night. As your warden, I recommend you double the number of guards. This will allow us to keep the situation under control. I will arm everyone I can and hasten their training. I order the guard doubled in all settlements. Will do, Your Grace. Oh. Greetings, Your Grace. By tradition, it is for where the ruler is a patron of the master gives generously in return. I have come to honor this tradition. Please accept this. I worked hard on it. I hope it will serve you well. Thank you for your gift. It was a pleasure to work for such an honorable lord. I got ankle breaker. I nearly caught up. Just wanted to drop a few tips I have to share. Many of your companions have useful ability treat affliction. You can use dispel magic to range took treat affliction. You can use dispel magic to get rid of ground effects like pits. Okay, yeah. Ranged touch attacks are only spells that Octavia can use at the moment to do sneak attack, i.e. Spells targeting AC relax. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I suppose I should probably look into which raise she's got access to. Thank you for the pointers. Your Grace. Greetings, Your Grace. I am working myself day and night, producing orders for your army. One particular item turned out too fine to serve a simple soldier. It will be more suitable for you or one of your loyal comrades. Take this gift. To our gracious ruler from the Master Crafter Dragon. Haven't you literally just dropped something off to me? So many of your companions have useful ability to treat affliction. Okay, let's rank up. Support the warden's endeavors. Okay, so you can do that, which gets stability up. But this will get up for loyalty. The community. Loyalty? Loyalty. There's no point in doing loyalty yet. Right. And the economy. Laying the foundation. 125. Oof. These are starting to rack up. 125 BP. 125 BP. Provides a general +2 bonus for resolving problems. That sounds like a plan. Although wait, no. Let's deal with the events first. You deal with that. Giants. Craftsman only, you can deal with it. Take a crisis point. You're busy, you can do it. Jod is too busy doing other things. You're busy doing that. You're busy doing that. You're busy doing that. Oh no. You can do that while I go off and do other things. And then I just need to claim that at some point and I'll finish the quest that I've had going on forever. Greenstone. It's only 85 days until that's ready to go. It's something I do want to question though. Oh, I not build a village over there. Alright, you two, have a good one. I know that I probably shouldn't, but I'm going to spend more money on that. So I can build my village over here and help build up stuff. So that's 4 villages, a town. Kind of curious as to know how much of this. I'm guessing that once we're done, we actually control this entire map within these purple lines. Oh, I need to sell junk. Oh yeah, I got ankle breaker and what was the other thing that he gave me? Serrator. I'm pretty sure I've already got an ankle breaker.
Follow my lead.
Maybe even a serrator. A long shank bane. Splitter? Oh, it keeps bopping out different ones, doesn't it? There we go. Oh yeah, swift boots. These boots increase the wearer's movement speed by 10. This enhancement bonus and this is and doesn't stack with other enhancement bonuses. I mean, I could give them to Lindsay to offset that terrible speed that she's got. Although what I could also do is see if I've got any leather armor in here that's lightweight. Yeah, that's a 5 and that's a 4+1. This is a 3+2. She doesn't really need the 100 pocket stuff, but it does bring the weight down. I never use that spell. I barely use Cure Light Wounds. Where else is this weight coming from? Never really use a keen short sword either. There we go. She's now not got a penalty. Okay. Right. I have no boots. I will take the boots. In the vain attempt, I should be able to move around a little bit better. The main square it is. It is one of the things where it's like, I wonder how well I do at this whole kingdom stuff on a second playthrough, knowing, you know, because one of the things is I focused on building up the community, which didn't really work until I got the economy up, which I didn't realize how to get up as well until I started building the buildings. I wonder, to a certain degree, would I be better off on a secondary playthrough with the kingdom stuff, or whether it's always going to be this bit of a struggle between build points and salt by ascending, so it keeps clicking around. I mean, to a certain degree, I'm not excessively concerned with what's this? Yeah, branded mail, that can go. Rings of protection, they can go. Silver ring, offer up chunk. And deal. So I'm back up to 125,000. 25,000. Not 125,000. So it's not like the build points are completely crippling my money. And it's not like I've got much to spend money on. It's been quite a while since I found anything worth buying. Doop doop doo doop doo doo doo. Think that precise shot feat is also something I need to pick up for a few people. Right, does it tell me where I'm supposed to get this gem from? No, it does not. Okay, great stuff. Military, culture. That's already claimed, that's already claimed. And I should possibly do a tour of the entire kingdom. So let's go to Lakeshire. Silvershire. Lakeshire's World of Warcraft. You need 15 BP. I have no BP. I want BP. I need at least 30. Again, like I say, it's not really breaking the bank. Ta-da! I have the BP. Oof, that's a long way around.
I need to catch my breath.
You'll be fine.
I tire.
This might be a bad idea, but oh well.
We will prevail!
Ooh, I don't recognize this terrain. Oh god, they're spread up and down.
Oh!
Abilities. Treat affliction. You treat an affliction means you tend to a single disease or poison character. Make a law religion check. If your check exceeds the DC of the affliction is removed. You can treat each character only once per day. Okay. So it's whoever's got lore religion. Yours isn't great. Tristan. Valerie has a low.
Any last wishes?
Yeah, I can return fire too. Right, let us bless. And move forward a little. Bum, 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 bum. Terrible place to stand. You
This
really
will hurt.
don't you?
Left yourself open. Let's try this way.
Onwards!
Oh,
This is for you!
You can dispel magic to get rid of bad effects. Range touch spells. No, that was someone else. Oh, dispel magic to get rid of bad effects. That's the thing that I was looking at.
This is where I step in.
So it's come to this.
What's rude?
tear them apart!
Charge. How is that not within striking distance? Oh, she already used her attack of opportunity. Who knows?
Repent! There is still time for surrender.
One person over there really doesn't like Windsor.
This should do it.
Oh, regret life choices.
They go down!
Stay behind me!
I'll fight if I have to!
Oh, I still have some coffee.
You forced my hand.
Missed. Charge back down the hill after killing one guy. You're too exhausted to charge.
Let us strike as one!
You can't stop me.
You're a tough little cookie. I mean, that was a terrible idea, but it was.
I'm writing you
Might be
out of
brave
our
of you.
story.
I'll try to make this swift.
Oh, Tristan with the killing blow. There's a cave up here. Leads to nowhere though. Right, take that, take that. Nope, nope, nope. Take that, take that. These, this, and this. I probably didn't want that sword. Oh yeah, I did. The great sword can stay. Just as we turned towards Valenhold, we ran into a patrol again. We exchanged the usual challenges and they offered to accompany us to the city. The Baron took the opportunity to learn for a reason for such caution. Bandit Chagris, one of the guards mutters, all sorts of rabble make their way here from Restov. We don't get a moment's peace. The rivers and roads are crawling with Verlot. Until we clear them out, we thought it best to patrol the tracks and rivers. But we're not here to hold you up with that. We'd be happy to accompany you on your journey to Varnhold. Well, we turn back and return to the Baron's lands. Interesting. I can't get to the edge of my domain. Or not through that route, at least. Begin resting.
Amiri, I've been meaning to ask you for a while now. Do you do anything special to style your hair?
You bet! You grab an enemy, you headbutt him in the stomach. My style is good and done!
Yeah, that's not really style, Amri. I mean, it kind of counts, I suppose. Well, more kingdom stuff has come up. Events. The art of making friends. A large trade caravan stopped at the capital. Its masters, it is said, and are the major merchants of Andhran. It's time to show them some hospitality. And nobody's available. Nobody. Oh, well. Somebody will be available in 12 days, I believe? Apart from maybe Job. Oh no, he'll be available in 4. Hmm. He could do it, I suppose, before he gets to divine rank malarkey. Relations. Relations requires community rank. Okay. Who's in charge of community? The Regent. That way. So yeah, nothing that I can really deal with right now. Until God finishes his job in 3 days. No. Oh, that's the only thing around this side of the river. Oh, okay. That was a long trek for not much. God. Fight. It's probably gonna be the last fight of the game, the session.
Not afraid.
Oh, it's raining. Would you look at that? Oh, we're not on that same... Are we on the same cliff? Just further up. Yeah, have a snowball to the face. Wine. Who is this? Not sure. Oh, it's me. Whee!
Yeah.
Regret life choices. All of you. Really? Got a natural 20 on the
Serves you right.
touch attack. Oh, it did. Opportunity. Attack of opportunity. That's what they're called. Really? Everybody just so happens to hit 20s when it's against Valerie. That is a ridiculous number of natural 20s that just got thrown out. Yeah, all of you fall into a pit.
Esmo, Axe, yes.
Murder! Murder! I didn't get to my other murders.
A calculated risk.
What? Better start going downwards. There's somebody else down there. No.
Bring it!
This will hurt. Let's try this way.
Overwhelming. Got a lot of crits going on.
So it's come
recently.
to this.
Well, I think that's just been one of them nights. A lot of high numbers going around.
Tear them apart!
Consider me provoked.
Mother!
Do not falter.
Watch out! Watch out! Right, we're trying to live. Right. I was about to say that guy will be dead soon, and then he died. Come on, Lindsay, you will get left behind. Oh, he didn't die. I thought he was dead. Gather around the exit beacon. Maybe, just maybe, he'll let us out early. Maybe if a guy dies as well, that'll help. Hey.
And so they walked on.
And we're gonna take your masterwork dagger and your masterwork dagger and nothing from you, nothing from you, nothing from you, and yeah, I'll take that. Why not? Right. Do.
I need to catch my breath.
Yes, everybody needs to catch their breath. Boom. Everybody rest now.
I marvel at your patience, Tristian. Didn't you ever want to curse or yell or smash someone's face?
I have felt those feelings, of course. I'm not a stranger to common human passions. But it doesn't become a servant of Sarenrae to act out his sordid urges.
What a little symbol means. It's come by daybreak. See? Do. Ta-da! Ooh, I got a payday somewhere along the line. On my massive number of 41 BP. Did I build this? I did build this place. Right. I'm going to build me a shop. And a tavern. Do you want to look at this place? Maybe I should go see what's happened to a certain extent. Oh, well. Alrighty, I think I'm just about good to call it, huh? Again, it's one of them. We seem to be in a bit of a rut with the game. I have a feeling that I'm waiting for either to do some of these, and it's all like a distinct part of the game where it's like, no, focus on your kingdom. We're not going to give you much in the way of quests. So you are, just trying to build up your kingdom stats and the rest of it. Or whether it's just a case of I've not been focusing on my kingdom, or whether it's just a natural pause in the game where it's like, yep, do what you want for this long until... Because I do know that this will trigger in 81 days. And it's not something that I feel that we can avoid. But I don't know. Anyway, let's switch back to the thank you for watching. Here we go. Got my hair. It's a problem with long hair and not really knowing what the bleeding hell to do with it. Just gotta try and tuck it back underneath the bleeding headset. And then unfortunately if I tug on it even just a slight bit, it starts curling up like that. Alright, this has been Pathfinder Kingmaker, session 37. Hopefully I will get this... I'm trying to get back on top of uploading videos. Because that's something I kind of fell out with And there has been a couple of mistakes that have been made. Josh watching Twitch pointed out that session 12 part 2 was a re-upload of session 12 part 1. So I pulled that down over the weekend and replaced it with a short little video explaining, yeah, it's gone. And then a later one, which I do need to just double check that I've got a note of. It's 25 is also unfortunately a duplicate of 24. I don't think I've made mistakes, but at the same token, if I knew that I was making mistakes, then I won't make them. Unfortunately, mistakes have been made, and anything older than, you know, a couple of weeks, Twitch has gotten rid of. I've not got downloaded to my hard drive anywhere. I was doing the math earlier, and it's like I've probably generated about 250 gigabytes of content so far. And I don't know how far through I am on this game, but the end isn't quite in sight, so it's all like trying to figure, you know, the concept of having a hard drive just to basically store these videos is sort of like, no, it's unfortunately, you know, to a certain degree, I'll just try to get more reliable at making sure that the right one is uploaded to YouTube and they're all properly accounted for. This is the first major streaming that I've ever done, so, you know, mistakes have been made. Lessons learned, and hopefully going forward, we'll get better at not making mistakes. But yeah, I'll be back on Thursday, 9 PM GMT, until midnight. Fridays and Mondays I play Cyberpunk 2077. Just started a playthrough of that. And Saturdays I usually end up playing a co-op game with my friend Kichigai Neko. For a few hours, usually I want to say 9:30 in the evening. If you check my schedule on Twitch, then it's all correct there. Alrighty then, that's just about me done for this week. I need to go get some coffee, rest up a bit. We're gonna go raid a friend of mine, Half-Singer Games. She is currently playing, I want to say Pathfinder Kingmaker. It's not Pathfinder Kingmaker. It is Cyberpunk 2077. So, you know, if you're not interested in watching spoilers for Cyberpunk 2077, close your stream now. Thank you for joining me. Half-Singer Games. If you are interested, drop in, say hi, and I'll see you next time. Tidy bye.